Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, you want us had a fantastic Monday. I am your meteorologist, Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. And we got some stuff we're going to talk about tonight. As you know, I do my research about models and all that, and look at the temperatures and get my stuff all ready before I go on and go live. And um, we're gonna talk about potentially some not some major fog issues, but we're gonna be talking about fog as well. We're gonna be talking about how those hot and humid conditions continue as we continue through this week. Daily chances for rainfall, and also the chance for some severe weather on tomorrow and Wednesday as well, maybe even Thursday. So we'll get into that. But before we get into that, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, make sure you go and do so. Hit the share button as well. Share with all of the people that you know. We are trying to get to 600 subscribers. We are at 530. We are 70 subscribers away from our goal, and we are 20 away from our milestone of 550, which would be the halfway mark to 600. So let's go on and talk about the weather. But first, let's go on and talk with the recorded audience for the people who can unfortunately not make it here tonight. Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Monday. I am your meteorologist, Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. Looking at the radar right now, we do have some rainfall going on over here for like Lancaster, South Carolina, going over towards like Richburg, South Carolina as well, and maybe moving into North Carolina a little bit. But other than that, not a whole lot going on. If we go into what's going on throughout, if we look at what's going on throughout the entire United States, we do have some rainfall up here in Maine as well as New Hampshire and Vermont. New York also has some rainfall, as well as Pennsylvania and Ohio getting some rainfall, going down to Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, the Four Corners region, going into Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa as well. And you might be, just thinking that this might just be like some regular rainfall that we're receiving up here, especially up there in like the Northeast. But actually, that is remnants or post tropical depression Chantal, as the low pressure makes its way up, and that's going to cause some flooding, some minor flooding, maybe some isolated flash flooding in some of these regions. But some of these showers that you're seeing up here actually has to do with Chantal and its remnants. As you go into cloud cover, we do have some cloud cover going on in the low country, South Carolina, maybe even up there, where we were just talking about those showers. But other than that, everyone else is clear. Cloud cover for the future. As we go in and push this forward again, you can see that it's going to be relatively clear tonight. As we move into tomorrow morning, again, clear. It's looking like it's going to be a good start, a good morning tomorrow morning. So if you have anything you want to do tomorrow morning outside, I recommend doing it, because it's looking like, from what I'm seeing, it's going to be clear. Current temperatures right now: 86 in Columbia, as well as 84 in Orangeburg, 81 in Somerville, as well as 83 in Sumter, 82 in Florence, as well as 81 in Conway, 81 in Myrtle Beach, as well as 80 in North Myrtle Beach, 81 in Murrells Inlet, and 80 in Georgetown. We also do have 81 in Charleston, also going into around 85 in Aiken, 85 in Greenwood, as well as 86 in Lawrence, 85 in 86 inside of Greenville and Spartanburg, and 84 up there near Rock Hill. Low temperatures tonight around 73 in Greenville, 73 in Spartanburg, as well as 74 in Rock Hill, 76 in Columbia, as well as 76 in Orangeburg, 74 in Walterboro, as well as 78 in Charleston, 75 in Georgetown, 77 in Myrtle Beach, 75 in Moncks Corner, as well as 78 in Hilton Head Island. Going into your rainfall, you can see from 9 p.m. tonight all the way through 8 p.m. tomorrow night, you can see a good amount of rainfall as possible. 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch for places like Aiken, going into Barnwell, and even Camden, Cheraw, maybe even Georgetown and Hilton Head Island. And we also have a 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch for places like Orangeburg, going into Kingstree, Sumter, as well as Dillon. Quarter of an inch to a half an inch for places like Florence, Moncks Corner, Walterboro as well. And again, it's going to be just the scattered activity, so that's why totals are kind of just like all over the place right now, because it's just, again, the summertime thunderstorms that we get, they could be anywhere at any time during the day. So that's why I always say just make sure you have that umbrella with you at all times. And some people might even get up to maybe an inch and a half to 2 inches. So yes, 1 to 2 inches potentially possible as we move from tonight into tomorrow night as well. Thunderstorms, we do not have a risk for any sort of thunderstorms. They did just push out the update. Here it is right here. No thunderstorms are expected tonight for the entire state of South Carolina, so that is a good thing. Tomorrow, though, unfortunately, we do have a low risk for some severe weather for places like Rock Hill, Columbia, Florence, Sumter, Bennettsville, Girard, Dillon, those places, going up there towards Loris as well. As there is a chance for some wind gusts 40 to 60 mile per hour with some storms that may move through those regions. As you move into tomorrow, not tomorrow, but Wednesday as well, you can see that there also is a low risk for some severe weather as well. And you can pretty much see that pretty much that caps the entire upstate, the Midlands, going into like the PD region as well, northern low country potentially, and again that probably will be another wind related event. As we go on and move into our excessive rainfall now, you can see as we move through tonight, obviously no excessive rainfall is expected. I don't really think that was really a shocker. As we move into tomorrow, this is from 9 a.m. tomorrow through 9 a.m. on Wednesday. Minor risk of flooding over here for Florence going into Conway as well. As we move into day 3, this is Wednesday right here, July the 9th, going all the way, so 9 a.m. all the way to Thursday 9 a.m. Again, another isolated flash flooding threat or minor flooding threat for Rock Hill, Greer, Spartanburg, Greenville, Anderson, going up here into Bennettsville, Girard, Dillon, Hartsville, Darlington as well. Day 4, again, pretty much encapsulates that entire region, but goes down more south towards like Greenwood, Clinton, Newberry, and Winsboro. That's on Thursday through Friday. And then Friday through Saturday, again, includes pretty much that everyone except for, but it just adds like Columbia, Sumter, Lake City, Kingstree as well. Myrtle Beach is included in there now as you go through Friday through Saturday. Let's go on now and look at the models. So we're going to start off here with the short-term models. Time is in the top right corner of your screen. And make sure that you go on and take a look at that. As you go on and push this forward, though, you can see, just nice and clear out there. Like we were just talking about, no rainfall is expected. Even as we move all the way to around 1 p.m., you're not looking for any sort of rainfall activity. Until finally you move to around 2 to 3 p.m., you can start to see that shower and thunderstorm activity start to really pop off and get to that scattered level. Even when you get to around 6, 7, 8 p.m., maybe even 9 p.m. as well, when it starts to finally die down. But, overall, you're seeing scattered showers from the upstate all the way towards the coastal region. So, pretty much, like I said, everybody will have a threat. And there also is, again, that minor risk for some severe weather, or that low risk for severe weather up there, like we were talking about for, like, Rock Hill and, I believe Columbia was included, and Florence, Sumter, and places like that. And you can kind of see it, like especially over there, kind of like near where Florence is, or just to the east of Florence as it moves its way through. And then this is 12 a.m. tomorrow night. So as you continue to push this forward, it's going into Wednesday. Again, we might see some rainfall that morning on Wednesday, but when 2 p.m. comes along, that's when we might start to see some more shower activity start to pop off. And again, Wednesday also has its own threat for severe weather as well. Again, probably another 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gust event, but still something to look out for. As we go into our long-term future, and I really could try to say that there's going to be at least something different, but it's not really. You can see that as we just go on and continue this forward, just this active weather that we've been experiencing for the entire summer period is still going to occur. Now, one thing that I will say, if you look down there towards like Florida, again, this is 200 hours out, so I'm not gonna say for sure this is gonna happen, but you can see there's some little you can see that there's some little rotation going on over here near like Louisiana, and it moves its way through, and a low pressure form this makes its way down towards like Texas, and so that might be something that they're gonna have to watch out for over there in Louisiana and Texas. But that would be or like July 18th, 19th, somewhere around there, maybe the 17th. And again, that's 10 days out. So that's in the period to where we're just watching just to see if the models stay consistent. If they don't stay consistent, then we're not going to talk about that anymore. But for right now, something still to watch for. And then, but for South Carolina, you don't really get too much of an impact from that at all, and it just stays rainy over here. Looking at the tropics, again, nothing going on. But again, I was just talking about post-tropical cyclone Chantal, as that is bringing some heavy rainfall over like towards like New Jersey, the Delmarva region, and eastern Pennsylvania as well, and then maybe even some life-threatening surf and rip currents along the U.S. East Coast from northeastern Florida all the way up towards the mid-Atlantic states over the next day or so. So that's still going to continue as we move through. Now in the Eastern Pacific, they do have a little disturbance over here, but it's not really anything much. Let me see. Yeah, there's only this little area right here, only a 10% chance of forming, so nothing really to say there. Let's go on now and talk about the crazy score. We're at a 25 for tonight inside the mild category. Just another normal night inside of South Carolina. Not really too much to talk about here at all, really. And after that, I believe that is about it. So we're not even 10 minutes into this. Probably one of the quickest evening forecast updates I've ever had. But let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Mr. Chris says, hello, everyone from Moncks Corner. Hope you all had a great day. AJP, I hope your day went well, and hope you got the email that thunderstorm coming towards Moncks Corner today. I did get that. I will show that at the end of the stream. My name says, hello, Jay. In spite of the heat, it was a really nice day. It was a nice day out there today, in my opinion. Just, a little bit hot, but nothing too bad. Cheryl says, hi, Joseph. Hello to you. My cousin Cheryl says, good evening, everyone. Hope all is well in this heat. Hello to my favorite weatherman. Hope all is well. So proud of you listening at work. Stay cool. Love you, Cheryl. Thank you so much for the message. And again, like I say every night, thank you so much for listening to us while you are at work. Cheryl says, like button, everyone, please make sure that you go on and do that if you have not already. Thad says, good evening, Joseph. I hope all is well. Chantal is looking a bit aggressive, praying for our neighbors in the east and the northeast. Well, Chantal pretty much is done. But yes, I have heard all the stories going on over there inside, I believe, like Round Rock, Texas, where there was around like 15, 20 inches of rainfall that fell. And so far, I believe close to around 100 people so far have lost their lives due to the flooding that was going on. So that is very, very sad and unfortunate over there inside of Texas, though. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, weatherman, good evening to you. And Mr. Michael says, hi, Joseph, hopefully the storm didn't dump too much rain where you are. No, not a lot. Not a lot, really. In terms of how much rainfall, I think probably around like a half an inch. Let me see if I can go back and check real quick as we go through tonight, or today. Nothing today. Yesterday, we had around 0.23, and on the 5th, we had 4, so 0.4. So that is 6.3. So 0.63 inches of rainfall fell at my house for pretty much the entire storm of Chantal. Yeah, not quite an inch. But for sure, some very much needed and very good rainfall. Very good rainfall. So that's it there. Let's go on and talk about our 3 locations outside of South Carolina. That being San Antonio, Raleigh, and Philadelphia. Those are our 3 locations that we talk about outside of South Carolina. Why do we talk about those locations, you might ask? It's because we have people from those areas that are watching. So starting off with San Antonio first, with low temperatures tonight 76, high temperatures tomorrow 92, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 75. There is no precipitation expected tonight, but tomorrow there is a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow during the day and tomorrow night as well. Severe weather, you might be asking, for San Antonio. There is no severe weather that is expected, but still that minor risk of flooding as you move from tonight into tomorrow morning. That's still there, and that's still possible. Even though there's no precipitation that's expected, I wonder if they are, because remember, these are two different, I believe these are two different offices. This one comes from the Weather Prediction Center, and that one, this forecast right here, comes from National Weather Service of San Angelo, I believe. So I might be, I believe San Angelo, either San Angelo or whichever one covers San Antonio, unless they have their own office down there. But pretty much no precipitation is expected, but they still have a minor risk of flooding tonight. Going into Raleigh now, low temperatures tonight at 75, high temperatures tomorrow at 96, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 75. There is no precipitation that is expected tonight, but tomorrow there is a chance of thunderstorms and then a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow night as well. As also, you do have a chance for some severe weather for Tuesday and for Wednesday. Same thing, wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour possible, 40 to 60 miles per hour, as some storms might roll by. In terms of excessive rainfall, there is actually a chance tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. So you have a chance for some flooding every single day. The main day most likely being Thursday going into Friday, that time frame where you could potentially see the most amount of rainfall. And then Philadelphia being the last location with low temperatures tonight at 75, high temperatures tomorrow at 94, and low temperatures tomorrow night at 74. And there is no precipitation expected tonight, but tomorrow, chance of showers, and the showers are likely tomorrow night as well. In terms of severe weather, you do have a slight risk of severe weather for tomorrow. Again, that's scattered wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour with some storms that push through. And then that's it there for flooding. There is also a chance for some scattered flash flooding tomorrow going into Wednesday. Same thing with Wednesday through Thursday. And then kind of gets more, kind of calms down, but still some isolated flash flooding Thursday through Friday. And then it calms down when you start Friday going into Saturday. So what's going on throughout the entire U.S., you may ask? Isolated heavy rainfall will continue through tonight across parts of the central Texas, though some relief from the heavy rainfall is expected on Tuesday. Heat and humidity will remain in place across the eastern U.S. and interior northwest U.S. over the next few days, with widespread moderate to a major heat risk. Dangerous heat will build into the desert southwest Tuesday into Thursday. So yes, we're going to see some heat in like eastern North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, going into Philadelphia, Massachusetts, up into New Hampshire, and then some excessive heat going on in Arizona, California, going down toward like San Diego, and then maybe even up there inside of Washington and Idaho, Montana as well. So a lot is still going on, and we actually do have some tornado warnings up, like in Minnesota. There is a tornado warning going on up there in Minnesota right now, as severe weather is going through South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Kansas. So that's pretty much it in terms of that. Since we are done with that, let's go on and look at the top fans for tonight. So if you have no idea what the top fans is, it's a thing that you can just see that YouTube made, where we can see who is the top active people inside the chat tonight. And the streak finally breaks as Trail makes herself number 1, Mr. Chris is number 2, and then Mr. Anthony is number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of you for making it to the top fans for tonight. And also the poll, I said, are you ready for this next wave of heat? 30% says yes and 70% says no, as there seems to be a huge amount of people who do not want it to be that hot. But one thing that I will say is that I know some people don't really like summer after July the 4th. Once they get past July the 4th, they just want it to be fall already. But we still got some time left to go. Before we still have this month, and then we still have next month, and then parts of September. Sometimes it's still kind of hot, and then we really have to look forward towards hurricane season, because that's really when it starts to go on. And I believe that is about all for tonight. So if you did enjoy the forecast this evening, make sure you go and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. We're at 530 subscribers, trying to get to 600, 70 away from 600, 20 away from halfway there, 550. So let's go on and get there. I will be back tomorrow morning with your Tuesday morning forecast update. Make sure that you're there also tomorrow night as well. We'll be here same time, 9 p.m.